Hello, my name is Hanji, otherwise known as the Tiger Otaku, and welcome to the Yearly Otaku Review. Sorry, hello, and welcome to the Yearly Otaku Review. As you can tell, I'm using the tiny mic because it is shit, but because we are also lovingly today, only for the anime part, at Oz Comic Con Melbourne. I don't know what an Oz is, I don't know what a comic is, I know what a con is. I've been around Levi long enough to know what that is. So we're infiltrating that today. But you guys won't be seeing that. But today we are doing the Yearly Otaku Review with anime. And I have been so lovingly gifted this by the channel's host. The list of all the anime that we are talking about today. If you didn't know what the Otaku Review is, it is the yearly review series where I talk about my top and not bottom. I talk about my top favorite anime of the year. So starting off, we have honorable mentions. So many honorable mentions because there was so much fucking anime that I watched this year. Starting with the live action honorable mentions because they do not fucking qualify for the anime Otaku Review. We have One Piece, which is a solid anime adaptation, but you will not see me touching that anime with a 10-foot pole. Our second honorable mention is Remember, because the puppet thing, cool as fuck. Next is the anime honorable mentions. They didn't quite make the cut, but they were there. And surprise, surprise, on the first of the anime honorable mentions, Attack on Titan Season 4, Part 3, Part 2. I wasn't fucking in it, so it's not getting on the list. Fuck you. Anyway, moving on. Next we have Perfect Blue. I ruined myself on that film, so I can't honestly put it in the top anime. Free, take your marks. I'd watched half the series. Gaku and Handsome. And Pokoroso. You'll see why I put Pokoroso honorable mentions instead of contenders when we get to it. So, on to the top 10. We're gonna jump right into it with number 10, the Junji Ito collection. I like Junji Ito, you guys know this. Why would I put an awful adaptation of the Junji Ito collection in this list? I thought it was funny. I thought Soichi's sections were really fucking funny. And that's about it. That's why it's at number 10. Moving on, we have number 9, Haikyuu to the top. Now, Haikyuu is always enjoyable. I really loved To the Top. However, I cannot remember any of it solely because it's like the rest of the show. But I did enjoy it, and I did rate it highly on my actual Otaku review that I did it. I just watched it at the very start of the year. It is now the very end of the year. I don't remember anything of it. Number 8, Junji Ito Maniac. A little spoiler, there's no Junji Ito on the manga list. And I liked Maniac more than I liked the collection based on my review at the time. So, Junji Ito Maniac goes at number 8. Yes, above Haikyuu. I don't remember anything with Haikyuu. I liked the adaptation as much as I could, and I did actually get scared for stories that I hadn't read. I didn't experience that with the collection at all. That's why it is up higher. Number 7. This is gonna surprise everyone because this is one of the only 2023 anime that I watched this year. And at number 7 comes Oshinoko. So, I really liked the first episode. Really liked the first episode. I, however, did not enjoy most of the rest of the series as much. It was a massive downgrade compared to the first episode. So for that, it gets put at 7. I did enjoy the series. I liked cosplaying Ai. I want to get into reading the manga. I like Aka Akasaka as a manga creator. But Oshinoko after the first episode kind of just wasn't it. At least until the last episode of Oshinoko. So, it gets put at number 7. Number 6, Yami Shibai, seasons 1 and 3. Don't ask what happened to season 2. Simply put, I binged so much Yami Shibai that I needed to put at least one season on this list. And because each episode is about 3 minutes long, 2 seasons got put at one point. I really liked season 1 in general. It is what got me into the series in general. At the entire point was season 1. But I actually enjoyed the storytelling of season 3. Despite the iffiness of the actual stories itself, I liked the ending, and the ending was super, super memorable. Thus, position 6. Moving on to number 5, we have Kaguya-sama Love is War, The Kiss That Never Ends. Surprised? I didn't put Kaguya-sama at the top of the list. Oh dear. I have said multiple times that I was not a fan of this movie solely because I had too many small gripes about this film that I couldn't genuinely put it up near the top. So I put it in like the middle position of obviously 5th place, just solely based on the fact that I had so many gripes when it came out that it's just not the best of the year. And it's not even the best movie that I watched this year. It's nowhere near the best movie that I watched this year. Moving forward to one of the best movies that I watched this year. Number 4 is the most recent Studio Ghibli release, The Boy and the Heron. Now, only a couple days ago, did I watch The Boy and the Heron, and it's already at position 4. Now, honestly, before I watched that film, Porco Rosso was at position 4. However, I said to myself, I can only have 2 Studio Ghibli films on my list, and Boy and the Heron, I think, is a much better film than Porco Rosso. Boy and the Heron is at position 4 solely because of the recency bias. I really liked it, and the more I sit on the film, the more I think it is better than some of the other films that are above this placing. However, because of how recently I watched it and how far away I watched other films, I have decided to put it in 4th place. Solely for that reason, I really, really enjoyed it. Stylistically beautiful, and probably a new classic from Studio Ghibli themselves. But it goes in 4 solely because of recency bias. Speaking of other films, number 3 is our second Ghibli film, this being Laputa Castle in the Sky. Now, I really, really fucking enjoyed Laputa. My live studio audience is going, yes! Yes! I really, really enjoyed Laputa Castle in the Sky, so much so that it deserved the 3rd place. Would I put Boy and the Heron over Castle in the Sky? Maybe. I would actually make it dead even. However, Castle in the Sky was probably one of the first Ghibli films that I genuinely felt really, really, really entertained by on first watch. Other than Castle in the Sky, other Ghibli films it's taken 3 or 4 watches to really truly get it, but Castle in the Sky was just one of those films where it's just like, yeah, okay, yeah, it really was enjoyable. I actually really did enjoy this film. Thus it gets this position. Now, number 2, this is gonna be divisive for some people, especially since I put the other half of this entry in the honorable mentions. Attack on Titan, Season 4, Part 3, Part 1 in the number 2 position. Why is it in the number 2 position, you may ask? I really enjoyed Part 1. I thought it was really, really suspenseful. Part 2 got ruined for me because I myself went and read the final chapter at the start of the year. It got the number 2 position solely because I enjoyed it a lot. Genuinely. Probably one of the best pieces of media that I have watched this year, thus number 2 position. However, it is not the thing I enjoyed the most this year, and it would be a bit of a cop-out to say that it was, just to satiate the fact that people like Attack on Titan, have always liked Attack on Titan, and that I am also cosplaying Hanji. Now, the number 1 position for the Otaku review for all of the anime that I have watched this year is Suzume. Oh, fuck! I forgot! No, I wanted the squishy chair. Thank you, my wonderful helper Yukari. I forgot there was metal on this, and that just clinked me in the head. So Suzume, I have a special guest with me, other than Yukari. Suzume, I really, really enjoyed this anime, this movie. I watched it closer towards the start of the year, and I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. Was it a slight letdown from what I thought it was? Absolutely. However, I really enjoyed it. I got fun, I got happiness, I got a little bit of fear as well from this film. And genuinely, I really like the studio that made Suzume and the director. So much like Studio Ghibli, I was super hyped for this film. And I just overall enjoyed it. The artisticness, the fucking little marketable plushies. Yes, I liked it more than Attack on Titan, because Attack on Titan was something that I knew about, something that I have been watching for over 10 years. Suzume was something new. I liked something new. Same with Boy and the Heron. Castle in the Sky, essentially something new. The only one of the top 4 that is something that I have known about since for the last 10 years that I've watched, that I've interacted with, is Attack on Titan, and it didn't quite meet my standards as compared to all of these very brand new things that I have never watched before. Suzume wins the top spot for me, solely because I really did enjoy it, and I genuinely think between Boy and the Heron and Suzume, honestly, Boy and the Heron is probably the better film, but I think Suzume was incredibly enjoyable and is something that has stuck with me throughout the entire year. So it gets the anti-recency bias by getting the top spot. I really enjoyed it. I will be purchasing it once it comes out on DVD. I believe it's out on DVD already, and that is all of my anime for 2023 that I have enjoyed thoroughly. I don't know why I have a chair without a peg. The key. Oh my god, it's the key. Where's Aaron? Where's Aaron? I've got his key. I've got his key. I've got the man's key.
Hanji. Is someone gonna tell Hanji that's not the right key? Anyway, let's move on to the manga of 2023 that our host, the Dramatic Otaku, enjoyed. So, much like the anime portion, we do have some honorable mentions. We don't have dishonorable mentions this year. The honorable mentions, these just didn't make the cut for what manga I thought was really, really good. So, to start off with, we have 2226. Now, compared to 1721, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really, really good. It's just that sister creeped me out a lot. So, I wasn't a huge fan. Then we have Wish Me a Love Song. It's a good drama, but I've been reading it for 2 years, and it's just a good series. It's not necessarily the one that blew me out of the water this year. Then is Orange, specifically the end story, the little short at the end of the entire omnibus, this being Harahiro Astronaut. I personally think it's one of the best unconventional love stories, but because it's not its own story, it is actually like a part of Orange, it's just an actual short, it doesn't make the contenders list. Next is The Guy She Was Interested Wasn't a Guy at All. Now, I loved this at the start of the year. It's an amazing web series. I believe it is actually getting turned into a proper publication soon. I haven't read it since March, so mainly because I wanted to let it update a little more before I binged it again, but it's good. It's a good web series. It's a good gay web series at that, lesbian web series. It just didn't make the cut. And speaking of gay, we have Scarlet. Personally, this had the best story potential, but again, just didn't hit that threshold. There was some other stories that I thought were better. And last of all, Rao-kun Notice Me. This has the best kiss scene that I have ever seen in a manga. It is so cute, it is romantic, it's gorgeous. However, the rest of the series is a little bit lackluster in some parts. So moving on to the actual top 10 for manga for the year. Now, it is mostly, actually all of this is physical volumes that I have, with the exception of 2, which I bought the manga for in within this year from Japan, because I liked the scans so much that I wanted the physical volumes. Starting with The Sleeping Dead Volume 1 coming in at number 10. Now, I have talked about how much I really enjoy this. I am obviously still iffy because this is boys' love, and there is mentions of sexual assault in this. And I have had a flip through of the second volume, even though I can't at this point read it. I don't know how good it's going to be compared to Volume 1, so that's why the 10th position is just Volume 1. Some of these it's going to be volume specific if I like it or not, but Volume 1 of Sleeping Dead I really enjoyed this year. It's a good boys love, it's horror as well, it's gory, it's fantastic, and I actually really enjoyed it so much that I bought the manga, both volumes of the manga at that. Justifiably put this in the 10th position. If I enjoyed it so much that I bought it, come on. So I really enjoyed that one. Surprisingly, the one in the number 9th position was recommended a lot, mainly on TikTok, and is by the infamous Tatsuki Fujimoto. This being Look Back. You thought it was going to be 1721, didn't you? No. If 22 to 26 didn't make the cut, 1722 didn't make the cut. So Look Back, I really enjoyed this book, surprisingly. It was very refreshing. It's unlike Fujimoto's other works. And like, I could say a lot about Chainsaw Man this year. I really enjoyed Chainsaw Man this year specifically. But Look Back as its own entity, I really like. There's a lot of silence, which it's a lot of like visual imagery instead of writing in this. I really enjoy. It's a very like lake house type story. It really touched me. I nearly cried when reading it, and it's enthralling, really. I really do believe it gets all the props that it should receive, and it is just one of the highlights of this year for me, especially with all the stuff from Fujimoto that I read this year. It's at the number 9th position because it's not the most impactful thing for me this year, but out of Fujimoto's work, it's definitely the most enjoyable other than recent Chainsaw Man chapters. And I've actually like kind of fallen in love with like collecting Fujimoto stuff. Yeah, this is probably one of the highlights from that little spree of purchasing items this year. Now, the next entry is the same series. It is 2 volumes of the same series. However, one of the volumes is jammed within these shelves somewhere. As of this going up, I will be rearranging my room to get new shelves put into my room. But that being said, in the number 8th position for manga, we have One Dance. So I loved One Dance this year. It is hard for me to believe that I read volume 1 and 2 this year. I refuse to believe that I only found this series this year. As you can see, this volume's been through the ringer, but I really love this series. Like from the music like incorporated into the series to like it being very nostalgic for me because I used to be a dancer, to like even the like kind of romance part, the finding oneself part. It's really nice. I think Wanda in this is really cute as well. Overall, it's like this is the same way that I sort of felt about Dance Dance Dancer last year, except I feel a little more connected to this one than Dance Dance Dancer, which is ironic because I did ballet and jazz and not hip-hop, but I guess in premise, like doing dance at school, stuff like that really connected with me, and I just love all of the detail that goes into this series as well. This is genuinely like a series that I'm going to continue. It's something that's refreshing for me. And again, it is nostalgic. I think I am a sucker for dance-related anime and manga, but this one specifically I really enjoy, especially when listening to the music that is brought up. I also love all the references to real-life things, and how, like, for a time, it does seem like it's instructional as well, and I'm just sitting there going, oh, that is so fucking cool. So yeah, in the number 8th position, volume 1 and 2 of One Dance. I really enjoyed volume 1 and was devo when I damaged it, and volume 2, when I found it, I just had to pick it up. So I will be picking up volume 3 when I get my hands on it. That being said, moving on to the 7th position, Claudine. Now, out of all of the gay manga this year, there's a couple that stand out, but Claudine, for the subject matter, I thought was really like fantastic and floral and stuff like that. Generally, I actually liked it a lot. I love the art style, and like as I said in my Rose of Versailles video, I will be picking that up soon. This is by the same creator as the Rose of Versailles, and just watching the live action, I can see the connections really well. I'm assuming I'm really gonna like it, but this on its own is really like interesting and dramatic and romantic, tragic, stuff like that, and that's what I love. It's very entertaining and very queer at the same time. Of course, it does have a really upsetting ending with Claudine's passing, but generally for like a short story about a trans character, I love this so much. It's so just good. I love stories about queer people, and it's messy and it's dramatic. This is one of those stories and I love it for that. So that is on my 7th position. Next is probably an entire series. I haven't fully read everything, but I'm only a couple chapters off of finishing this series, which I'll probably end in the next couple of days. But that being the psychological horror that just fucked me sideways throughout this entire year, Blood on the Tracks. Now, as I said, fuck me sideways. I have so many mixed feelings with this, but that's what kind of makes this a really good horror personally. Something about it is really compelling, and I hate it and I love it at the same time. Ashimi is really good at making you feel really fucking uncomfortable. This based on the fact that, you know, I completely dropped Inside Mari, which is another one of Ashimi's works. I want to pick up more of Ashimi's works, and I can't wait to be severely uncomfortable by those as well. But specifically Blood on the Tracks, for the first of Ashimi's works that I've actually picked up, this was fantastically horrifying, and just the fuckery of it all is fantastic. I have not finished it fully, but again, this is one of those things where I cannot believe I found it this year and this year alone. Greater deals at the very start of the year, but still, I cannot believe that it's this year alone that I found this series. There's not much I can say other than the fuckery of it all, and so much so that it gets the 6th position. Moving on from our 6th position, you are going to have to use your imagination, as this is a representation of the books that I'm about to reference. Urusei Yatsura volumes 2 through 5. Now this is volume 6. Still haven't read volume 6. I have really enjoyed Urusei Yatsura this year. It has been like really fun, and for as thick as these books are, like I find myself like enjoying myself. Urusei Yatsura is one of those series where it's like I cannot wait to collect all the volumes and read all the volumes. It's by one of my favorite mangakas, Rumiko Takahashi, and I am just enjoying it a lot. It will take up so much of my money. Volumes 2 through 5 is the majority of what I read this year when I finally got my hands on volume 2, because I was missing volume 2 and had volumes 3, and then also grabbed volume 4 when I grabbed volume 2. It's fun. I love the campiness of it all, because it is quite campy for what it is, despite it being also very heterosexual. Anyway, but I enjoyed it. I really loved it this year. Volumes 2 through 5 were probably one of the highlights for my reading this year. It kind of kept me going when I was having a bit of a drought in reading, because again, these are so thick, it felt like I was reading 2 or 3 books, which mentally made me feel better. In 4th position, we have another one of these gay books. We have Is Love the Answer. Now, I made a huge deal about this back in June and all that sort of stuff, because Is Love the Answer is a story about an asexual, aromantic character, and to this day, I really think this is good representation as someone who isn't asexual and aromantic, solely because it actually helps me understand the concept of aromanticism and asexuality a lot better. But also, this is just generally enjoyable. It's not like shoving a point down your throat. It's exploration in an entertaining way. The main character is entertaining. I love that for this kind of book specifically. Slightly over Urusei Yatsura. Would I say that I would switch the two at any point? It sort of depends on my mood. They're kind of equivalent to me, Urusei Yatsura and Is Love the Answer. I just push this one forward because I do really appreciate the messaging and all that sort of stuff. And again, I had a lot of people reach out to me to ask about the book when I talked about it on Instagram. That sort of spoke volumes to me this year. And I will be trying to find Mine-kun is asexual as well, but for this year, really loved it. Moving forward, we have the last horror entry for this list. This one surprised me this year. because this is from the horror list, and if you know the horror list, it is so hit and miss. From the horror list this year, I made it a goal to get through as much of it as I could during October, and in October I found the series Kiriko. Now, I didn't find it. I had it on my list and searched for it because I organized my list by shortest to longest series. Now, there is a second volume of Kiriko. I love this as its own short. It's like the imagery is fan-fucking-tastic, and like, once again, I purchased this from Japan because I love the series so much. Just genuinely, first of all, when I saw the cover, I knew it was going to be fantastic or shit, nowhere in between, and it ended up being fantastic. For like feeling horrified, which is what you want to do when you're watching horror, reading, whatever, this is genuinely one that actually gave me the chills because of the imagery. Story-wise, it is the most average thing possible, and it's very like predictable. However, just solely based on the imagery, especially since it's a manga, having good horrific imagery is probably the best part about a horror series. I would say how I felt about this book is very comparable to how I feel about some of the body horror in Junji Ito's novels. Genuinely, I fucking love this book. I think it's one of the best horror series and horror stories that I have read all year, but just the imagery alone really, really carried this. So I love this. I think you guys would love it. So it snagged the number 3 position. The number 2 position, this one you guys haven't seen yet because this is for, I believe I read it in November. I definitely bought it in November. And you will have seen it in my manga haul video for the Scorpio season video that I made. But this is The Moon on a Rainy Night. Now, I'm not going to spoil too much for the wee wrap up, but this is a girl's love. I believe it's Yuri or girl's love, I don't remember. But this character over here in the red jacket, she is deaf, and the girl over here is a pianist who goes to her mother's piano school, whatever. Pretty much, new girl at school, they befriend each other, and it sort of like is blossoming into a little romance. It's very cute. I love it a lot. Again, this is probably recency bias, but like this, genuinely, I love this so much. Biggest thing, it does not fetishize her disability at all, at least not in the first volume. It's really good. I love it a lot. You'll see my review for it in the wee wrap up. I can't really describe how much I really like this. It's refreshing, it's wonderful, it's cute. You go in supporting their friendship, and then when the protagonist says that like she's gay and that she really wants to be in a romantic relationship with the deaf character, you sort of just go, now I really want them to be in a relationship, but like I love their friendship at the same time. I love this series. Genuinely, out of all of the gay manga that I've picked up this year, this is probably one of my favorites, which like this was a impulse purchase. This was like bought for a video, wasn't really going to like properly buy it, but I just saw it on a shelf, caught my eye, and it is probably one of the best purchases I've made this year. I would say this, in terms of my emotions on the series itself, is similar to One Dance. It's just that I like this a lot more, like entertainment wise and story wise. But yeah, this you will see in the November-December wave wrap up. I really enjoyed it, and by the fact that it got the number 2 position over all of the other manga from this year, you know it's good. You know it's good. And finally, for this year, we have the number 1 position, which I feel like this shouldn't be too difficult to guess what my favorite manga of 2023 is. My Love Mix-Up volumes 5 through 9. Because these are the volumes I collected this year, and I finished off the series. So it's no secret that I love My Love Mix-Up, especially since I finished the series this year. Again, I've said it before, I'll say again, for a series that I picked up on a whim from a manga tube recommendation last year. I have fallen in love with this series. It is so fun. It's so like cute. It is like a really, really nice rom-com, especially on the comedy side. The art is so funny and so fantastic. Aoki goes from being annoying to really funny to being reliable. I love that. This is like, I cannot speak higher praises enough for My Love Mix-Up. It is genuinely one of my favorite manga, especially one of my favorite romance manga, and there was a lot of things that intrigued me when I first picked up My Love Mix-Up last year, like from the fact that it was portrayed as a boys love but in the shoujo beat section, which is something that I really didn't expect, but it's something that I've ended up really loving because it really does feel like just any other shoujo beat manga, while normalizing a gay couple, and it's something that I've just like grown to adore over this year, especially like it only being a 9-volume series. I'm really glad they didn't like drag everything out. I'm actually a little sad it didn't go out to 12 volumes or 13 volumes like Al Hard Ride, but genuinely it is one of, if not my favorite series, definitely of this year, but one of my favorite series of all time. If they make an anime for My Love Mix-Up, I will be on that shit constantly. I will be watching it every week as it comes out. Please make a My Love Mix-Up anime. Somebody. And I was ecstatic when I found out there was the drama for My Love Mix-Up. But yeah, so that is all of the anime and manga that I have selected as my top 10 for 2023. I hope you guys enjoyed. That was all of my top picks for 2023 on my anime and manga. What was yours? I would absolutely love to know. Please let me know down in the comments down below what your favorite anime and manga was for this year. Please like and subscribe as well if you're also there. Thank you. And I hope you guys enjoyed my Weeb wrap-up, and my November Weeb wrap-up should be coming out on the 31st, with the mega compilation of Weeb wrap-ups coming out on the 30th, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.